Good morning. It is Monday, June 15th, I believe. And I am on my way out to do an upper body workout, a upper body push with a shoulder emphasis. Everything has been going fantastically. I am extremely confident in my prep so far. Based on the way I've been counting, I am 19 weeks out from my first targeted show, but realistically I'm 16 weeks out because there is a show 3 weeks prior to that in Port St. Lucie, which I believe is also a pro qualifier. So on the outside chance, or hopefully not the outside chance, that I am in what I feel at least is outstanding shape, and I get down to the body fat that I want to get down to, and I look the way I want to look at that body fat, and not just super skinny and stringy, but actually look like I've lifted weights in my life. And enough people show up, but not too many people show up. I guess there is always an outside possibility of having a shot at earning a natural physique pro card. To be quite honest with you, I don't fully understand how that process works, because there's the WNBF, there's the NPC, there's the OCB, there's probably a handful of other governing bodies that put on shows, and I believe each one of them has their own process for awarding pro cards, so who the hell knows. But because of that outside chance, or that opportunity at that show, I think I'm definitely going to do the Port St. Lucie show, because it is an hour or two away from me, and it's just I'd be kind of foolish not to do it, putting in all this work. And based on my rate of progress so far and how confident I'm feeling, at least at the moment, I feel 16 weeks is plenty of time to get ready. So my body weight has been, it actually touched 195 and change once so far over the past, I guess it's been 6 weeks. And my 7-day average is currently 196.6, which is the lowest it's been now over the past 6 weeks. So I'm losing at, it really depends on how you measure the progress, because what I did was, the last week or so of my maintenance phase, I was allowing myself some extra calories, and I also had 3 kind of cheaty nights in there, because I knew my maintenance phase was wrapping up. So at the very beginning of this fat loss phase that started 6 weeks ago, my body weight was kind of artificially inflated from where it was holding. But I think just prior to those cheat days, I was holding roughly a 200-pound average. And now I'm down to a 196.6 average. So, however you want to cut it, and it took a week to lose that bloat, I guess. And then, I was kind of on track for the past 5 weeks. So, but however you cut it, I'm definitely losing over a half a pound a week on average. If you measure it a different way, maybe it's a little bit more than that. But anyway, I wanted to I think I was targeting more 0.75, 0.8 pounds per week. And if I'm somewhere around 0.6, that's fine. I get it. So I feel like progress is going well in that regard. Strength is hanging in there. My steps are definitely higher than what I had intended on averaging. I wanted to hold more or less a 10,500 average. I'm closer to 12,000 now. So I know I could kind of let that subside a little bit. I don't want to go too crazy, because I want to leave myself, I guess, some room in a sense if I need to bump up my steps later on in prep. But I am feeling good. I'm definitely looking lean. I can't say for sure whether the leanest I've ever been per se. I've definitely been a lot lighter, but that was also because I was doing things like a fucking idiot, and I was fasting and doing all this stuff. So I, and like getting super duper depleted. And, I had previously hit an all-time low like 2 years ago, a year and a half ago or whatever, in my prep, where I got down to like 183 one morning. And that was after like a 48-hour, 72-hour fast. I don't know. Please don't hold it against me, but I definitely do not advocate extended fasts during a contest prep. But somehow my prep transformed into some type of like pissing contest with myself to see how much I could make myself suffer. I just went to a really weird place. And I think part of that was just lack of confidence in the process, because I had never been there before, and I was part of me was a little bit desperate, and part of me was like, well, I'm not going to not be in shape because I wasn't able to suffer enough. So I'm going to fucking suffer as much as I have to. And that just didn't make any sense. I need to do things intelligently, which I'm doing now. So intelligently meaning my protein is still higher probably than it needs to be, because it's still higher than 1 gram per pound of body weight. My fat has been brought down to not an absolute minimum, but it's like under 70 grams of fat a day. It's like 65 or so. Don't really want to bring that down much lower. And the combination of my protein and fat levels then leave me as many calories over that I can spend on carbohydrates, and I am spending them on carbohydrates. So I'm eating 5 times a day. First meal is really just a carb meal. It's like a pre-workout meal, not really any significant amount of protein in that meal, very low fat in that meal. It's basically like just oatmeal, or it depends on the day. It could be oatmeal or oatmeal and banana, or oatmeal mixed with some other, if there's some dry cereal in the house or something. But the gist is, it's basically just carbohydrates. And then my real eating starts, and I have 4 like proper meals a day, one of which is always a post-workout shake, because just that's my thing and I like it, with a lot of carbs. And then the other meals are protein-rich meals with some carbs and some fat. This past week, I've been substituting one of my chicken and rice meals. On a typical day, I've been substituting one of those with like Greek yogurt mixed with, again, something. Greek yogurt and oatmeal, or Greek yogurt and banana, or Greek yogurt and like some type of dried cereal. Just to kind of break the monotony of the chicken and rice. But I'm trying not to stray too far towards wanting to have more palatable foods. I'm trying to really stick and not go crazy with the artificial sweeteners and all that stuff. I'm really trying to stick to like, just kind of like, more like blander meal, like kind of stick to my chicken and rice, stay in my lane. Don't do anything that's going to like aggravate my appetite and make me want to seek out sweeter food choices. And then, because then there's no end to that. Then you start making like, well, I'm gonna try and make like, I'm gonna craft this peanut butter cup brownie recipe that is high protein and everything, but it's gonna taste, no, it's just it never does. All it does is frustrate you, and it's, there's like high expectations for what that recipe is gonna taste like. It never tastes like the real thing, so you end up disappointed, and then you end up feeling like disappointed in yourself that you like trailed off your typical food selections, and it just never works out. Not that it's bad for you, not that you can't get away with it. It's, calories are calories, and if it's hitting your macros and it's, basically the same food choices you would eat otherwise, just in a brownie form because you baked it instead of drank it in a protein shake or something, like, yeah, it's fine. But part of it is just not wanting to continue to go down that road mentally, always seeking out more like highly palatable foods, because that's when you get into trouble and you start cheating and so on. But other than that, everything's great. Training energy is good. Strength has been hanging in there. And I am here at the Retro Fitness, which ultimately is a pretty good gym in the area. I've lifted at a ton of Retro Fitnesses across in New Jersey when I lived there. And this is like kind of the only, come on dude, you fucking asshole, backing in. I hate when people back into their spots. I don't know why, it just irks me. Anyway, here I am at the gymnasium, so I'm gonna log off. Hope your training is going well, and I will check in again shortly. Peace.